Hi everyone, I wanted to let you know the current state of my Zhongli, currently at level 90. I do use Deathmatch on him for the crit rate. I do have his best in slot, Staff of Homa, if you're worried about his damage. And I'm leveling up some other options for him. Skyward Spine, if you want to use him as just a meatball machine that throws down his ultimate all the time, this sort of meteor. And then, there are other weapons too that you can run him on, but I like to use him on the Deathmatch. As you can tell, his max HP isn't the highest. I do use him a little bit for a sub DPS. His defense is a little higher than I'd like, but as you can tell, he has a 72% crit rate and only 106 crit damage, but he has a very high energy recharge, and that's because I really want his meatball to be up at all times. I don't just use him as a cheap shield. If you do, you want to have his max HP around 30,000 if you want to prioritize his HP. But that's not how I build my Zhongli. So I have a lot of energy recharge on him, 10.4%, even 18.7% crit flower. His attack, even more energy recharge, but not very good substats. I don't really run Tenacity of Millilith domain very often. I have an energy recharge Sands, and this is where I'm going to differ from most other people's builds. They're going to suggest an HP Sands if you want to use them for a shield, or they're going to suggest something related, actually an HP Sands is what is mostly recommended, but this is an onset piece, and I really like the energy recharge because I just use him to freeze things, and he does a little bit of damage too. And I have him on a geo damage bonus goblet. This is pretty standard for a sub DPS Zhongli. You can use him HP. If you just care about him being a shield, you should go HP. But I like the crit damage on this one and the attack percentage. And then I unfortunately use a crit rate helmet. It's on piece, or it's on set, and the tenacity of Millilith, you do get the HP increase by 20%. This has a little bit of HP percentage on it, and a lot of energy recharge and elemental mastery. But he's not with Zhongli, when you put down a shield, I feel that even maybe the game hasn't caught up to how strong he is. You can really just use his shield. And even at the low HP of 23,000, you can still kind of block everything. I don't have his C1, which gives him an extra pillar, and 2 is good as well because it grants nearby characters it. So if I was doing a co-op Zhongli, I'd want C2. I have him at 999. If I were to 10 one of these, it would probably be the shield. It would probably be increasing the shield if I were to give him a crown. At this point, I don't think he needs a crown because he's so strong. I just need to 999 him. And for fun, I like seeing his meatball freeze things, and it's really tactically good. You get a really good shield, and you get to freeze things. So that's why I have his energy recharge almost at 200. The meatball is always up, and I pretty much always have a shield with how quickly the E, happens. So if you should have some energy recharge if you want that shield all the time, and if you want to buy some time with that meatball and have it always be up. And that's the current state of my Zhongli. Thank you so much for joining, and I appreciate you checking out the current state of my Zhongli.